Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob, and today I just kind of wanted to show what I've done to my Challenger. Uh, this is the AEA Challenger 357. Now I'm going to redo a trigger guard for it. That was just a temporary fix. It was a quick fix, so I can get an idea of what I want. But eventually, I'll have a nice rounded trigger guard for it. I just don't want it to be that squared, squared off. But I put the train on it, and the stock is the one that I got from my Benjamin Sam that I took back off of it and put my original one back on it. It was a little bit lighter, but this one, the 357, needed a stock for it, so I modified it to fit. So let me bring you down here and show you what I did to it. All right, a while back, I had made this train, and I was trying my hand at dipping with camouflage, and what I should have done was painted this gray first and then dipped it, but it looks okay. It kind of matches the stock anyway, so I went ahead and put the brownish camouflage on it with a barrel band, and then I took the stock and I plugged the one hole that the gauge was in for the Marauder, and then I had to put another hole here in one of the two places. I can't remember which one it was, but I ended up with two holes in it. Uh, so in order to get this trigger and everything to line up right where I wanted it, I had to use one of the holes for the gauge, and I just made a bushing that goes down in there to almost to where it touches the breech. And then I countersunk it and put a cap head screw in it. Now I haven't done anything to this yet. I had to trim this out, so I need to do something to make that look better. So I'm thinking about using some of this material here that is that heat shrink. Basically, I just took a 50 millimeter heat shrink and cut it down the side and made it a square pad, and then I made a heart shape and glued it to it. Now I don't know how long that'll last. It may not last long at all, but we got to do something here. Now I don't know if I can do stippling here. uh, I might be able to do some stippling here and on Ingemin. Because remember when I put the gauge hole here, it had to delete the B, so it's an Ingemin now. So I want to eliminate that also. So whatever I do here will be done the same here and here, because they're not going to match. So we'll do the same thing here on the Benjamin. We may just do a whole piece that comes across here and goes up. Who knows? Something fancy with a star. I don't know. We can use this same material maybe. I don't know. We'll see. The only bad thing about using that stuff is I got a line right there where it was folded because it was in a circle and it was flat, so it had two folded ends on it, and when you unfold it, it's hard to get that thing to relax and go back to normal, to flat. So then I just made a quick dirty uh, trigger guard for it, and everything works good. So then, because this breech had to end up right here instead of here, I wanted that breech to end up right here, but it wasn't going to happen because then I wouldn't have had a way to mount it. So I would have ended up drilling another hole. So I just kind of wanted to close a hole by using that bushing to do it that way. And then I just went and made a piece on the 3D printer that transitions that nicely. And I think it turned out pretty nice. What do you guys think? But I'm waiting for this glue to dry on this. It's still kind of fresh. I'm going to try to do some heat this up a little bit and see if that'll shrink down, because it's kind of flopping up right there. I might be able to put some more glue down in there with a needle or something, or a toothpick, put some glue in there. But I think it turned out pretty nice. I've been thinking about this for a long time, what I was going to do with this stock, and I just modified it so it would fit the Challenger. The first thing I had to do was, because the tube, the air tube on this one was bigger than the air tube, and it wasn't much, but it was enough to be hard to do. It's just barely smaller than this tube, so I had to take an old tube that was cut off that somebody sent me, and I used it, put sandpaper in it, 80 grit sandpaper, and then I just worked the whole thing back and forth with that pipe until it was down to touching the center of the bottom. And once I got there, then the tube fit. So I think it turned out pretty nice. I'll probably end up redoing this stock. I put a nick in it. I put a nick in it right here when I was working on sanding it. When I was going through here, I hit that and nicked it. And this stuff nicks really easy. And then I chipped a piece of that out there, and I chipped a piece out right here when I had it in the vise. So I may end up having to redo this stock, or refinish it, sand it down to flat wood, sand all the checkering off of it and everything, and start new, because it's not a Benjamin no more, it's a Challenger. So I may even take and cut the tip off of it, and or just mask it off and put and paint the tip black. But if I do black, I want a dark walnut, or a dark walnut stain or something. So this is, I think, beech wood. So beech is a pretty hard wood. Sand's easy, but it's a hard wood. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the Challenger 357 AEA that got a new modified stock for it. And I'll even show you my 30 cal, what I did to it. This one here is the stock that I fried with the 5,000 volts. But I also put a train on it also, but I didn't put but 2 cars on it. I just put two cars just to get it out past the stock, so I could put a barrel band on it, and then I put another barrel band up here on the end. So this thing shoots really nice. This is my 30 cal Challenger with an O-Hunt, and I'm waiting for it to give me a problem, because the other one was okay in the video, but then for some reason it just started messing up on the parallax. But this is the kind of trigger I want to put on that one, and I can't modify one of the Challengers to put on it. I may have to 3D print one. I didn't want to do that, but I may have to. So but that's what I did, was put the train back on it. And the main reason I put the train on there is because of side to side movement on the barrel. and I use stainless steel screws in mine because I don't care if it scratches my tank. It's pretty much covered. You're not going to see it. And I don't see this gun being changed anytime soon. I did put a different knob on it. Mine's a little smaller than what I sell, but it still hits the wood. So basically I need to just kind of file a little round spot there for it. But it don't hit the one on the 357. This is just a little wider on the top than the top of the other one. So tell me what you think of that Challenger 357 stock. I used a Marauder stock for it, and it worked out pretty nice. So don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to have your Trump/Bison coffee. You guys have a good one. Later.